out of here! Get the fuck out of this neighborhood!
Go.
Chris, no, Chris. Get the fuck out of here! Yes, move! Fuck off! Fuck out! Hey! Yeah! Fucking leave then! Turn the fuck around and leave, assholes! Get the fuck out of here! Fucking walk off!
Am I bleeding? Okay.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Mitch Murphy, the Red Pill Rapper on ThoughtCrimes.ca. Welcome back to another episode of the Red Pill Rapper Show, man. I'm going to burn through my frickin' sponsor today, and that is The Resistance. That is The Resistance 144 at protonmail.com. Ask them at the till, or you can also buy them at the Kelowna Freedom Rallies and throughout British Columbia. Just ask them, have you heard of the Red Pill Rapper? And you will receive 5% off whatever you're buying. I've got Mr. Worldwide here today himself, Chris, Billboard Chris, the man behind the I Heart J.K. Rowling campaign. The guy is making a ton of noise. You're literally a world-renowned thought criminal now, man. I think I made that joke last time, and you actually are.
I guess so. I don't know. It is what it is.
So what?
I'll just
what
keep
happened?
going.
Yeah, what happened? I mean, just a bit of a bit of backstory for anyone who missed the last episode. Chris runs around Vancouver and all over the country holding signs that say children cannot consent to puberty blockers, revised Bill C6. He's putting in some serious work all over the country. And some people are mad at our friend Chris here. Is that right? There it is.
Children cannot consent to puberty blockers. Billboardchris.com. New sign because Antifa just destroyed one. And then I got this beauty here. It's the proper definition of a dad, you see. A dad is a human male who protects his kids from gender ideology.
Wow.
So I was back east visiting universities around Ontario and went to Ottawa to Parliament, just continuing my campaign of conversations one at a time with the faith that I'll eventually reach people who can do something about this madness infecting our society. And then I went to Montreal. I got in there late Thursday night. And so Friday I met with one guy. He's a filmmaker, maybe gonna help me do some videos and stuff. But then I met with another dude, a guy named Chris. And we went to Concordia University, which is right on St. Catherine Street in Montreal. It's the busiest street in Montreal. And so like my objective in Ontario was to go to a bunch of universities and talk to university kids and spur debate on campuses and stuff like that. In Montreal, it was a little different. The university is like right downtown sort of thing. So it doesn't really matter where you are. So we just went up and down St. Catherine Street once. And it was 7 p.m. There's people everywhere because they have a curfew at 8 p.m. And there wasn't much happening. I wasn't really getting that much hate. I was having some conversations. I had some really good conversations earlier that I recorded on my body cam, which I was looking forward to put up on Twitter. But we were walking down the street and someone stopped me outside the liquor store. There was a line up there and this dude asked me, what are puberty blockers? And so I was just having conversations. And then someone else behind me asked. And to give you a perspective of how crazy people are, this one guy said to me right then and there, if children can't consent to puberty blockers, how can they consent to puberty?
What?
And Mitch, this isn't the first time I've heard this. It's not the second or third time I've heard this. It's like the 6th or 7th. It's nuts. And I just kind of laugh, you know. I'm not gonna engage with crazy people, but there's a lot of them. And I'm telling you, the younger generation, especially the younger female generation, is totally captured by this ideology, and they think puberty is just an optional thing that people can go through, and they think that you really can just change your sex. But anyway, so someone else, another member of the public, started engaging that guy, and I was just talking to Chris when, boom, out of nowhere from the road, I had maybe 1 second to react, if that. These guys stepped off the road, storming at me, and some people came from my left, and I think there was 5 or 6 of them. One woman as well, Antifa members, and they ripped my signs off me. One guy punched me in the face. This other guy punched me in the back of the head, and they were just shouting crazy stuff at us. At me mostly. There was this other guy with me, and it was all just a really blur. It was a big blur because suddenly you're beset upon by all these people, super violent people. I didn't say a word. I didn't fight back because I know I'm not allowed to fight back because police will end up arresting me.
Of course.
And so I just started. They took my sign with my body cam on it, which ticked me off because I need footage of these people. So as I was retreating, walking myself out of that, and a couple guys buggered off. One guy went into the street, destroyed the sign, stomped all over the body cam. I was walking away, and so I grabbed my phone out of my pocket and I started filming to get their pictures, to get their images. And a few of them kept coming at me, trying to knock the phone out of my hand. And I just kept walking backwards, filming as they were coming at me. And one dude picked up a big traffic pylon, one of the more heavy duty ones.
A safety cone, ironically, hey?
A safety cone, is that what it's called? And, you know, it's plastic, so I wasn't that worried about it, but it probably weighs like 8 or 10 pounds, and the base is pretty thick. And so he picked it up and he swung it like an axe at me. And I just channeled my inner Karate Kid, and I did my wax on, wax off impression. That hurt. And I blocked it. And then he went to hit me again, and I blocked it again. And I think I blocked it 4 times. And on this, I think it's the second or third one, you hit something hard enough, it'll break. And my forearm broke. So my ulna, the bone on the outside, is in 2 pieces right now.
Oh.
But yeah.
I'm sorry,
I wasn't
man.
gonna run. I wasn't gonna run because, you know, I'm not that kind of guy.
You're a badass, Chris. You're a genuine badass.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I just wanted to get them on video, and you know, that's what they want. They want to humiliate you and watch you run. So anyway, they left. This one, so after that, I took all those pylon hits or safety cone hits, whatever it's called. A guy had a mustard squirt bottle, and he was squirting me repeatedly with mustard. And I do like mustard. It's probably my favorite condiment, but I don't particularly love it all over my jacket and my head. But
right.
Such is life. So they took off. Police came. I realized my forearm was kind of hurt. And so I went to the hospital. They eventually took an x-ray, and there it is, broken. I can send you a picture if you want, or it's on Twitter. Anyway, that all happened. And as is typical, when these morons resort to violence, it just backfires spectacularly. And what's happened is there's been a flood of media all over the globe picking up this story. I was live on RT International, Russia Today. I guess that reaches a few million people. One of the biggest talk show radio hosts in the US is going to have me on. There's been other alternative media up in Canada, lots of podcasters reaching out. And I've just been swamped doing interviews and all that. So I like having one conversation at a time, but it's always good to reach, you know, a few million at a time. So I'll take it. I'll take a broken bone any day if that's what it takes to stop this madness that is harming thousands of children across our country.
Yeah, man. Well, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on, because I've been watching your feed, and even just because I'm pretty connected throughout the country. You're everywhere. Your face is everywhere. You're a real star, and I think I don't know, the people that I'm involved with that have been watching your campaign and watching your work. I think we all knew it was a matter of time for before something happened. I don't think we were expecting an attack like that, but just for you to gain, some serious traction, not that you haven't up till now, but this seems to be the next level. And we're all so excited because there is nobody that should be the voice of reason on this topic that is better than you. You're the best. You're the absolute best. You know your shit better than anybody else. You're the most principled, reasonable, calm person that can talk about this stuff. And it's great, and I'm sorry you got your arm broken, but I'm so happy, Chris. I'm so happy.
What, you jerk?
Oh, are you offended? Did I offend you?
I'm deeply offended. Words are violence, Mitch.
But I wanted to ask with the attack, was it premeditated?
It has to be.
It sure
well, I don't know
like
many people that walk around with a mustard squirt bottle. I mean, yeah, it was totally premeditated. They knew I was there. I mean, I put on Twitter that I was there too, but I didn't say I was going to be at that location. But it is the busiest street in Montreal. I've learned that they have, they have their Antifa contingent, and they're maybe a little more nuts than the people out west. But I mean, Antifa's Antifa.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it clearly is premeditated. They didn't say a word. They just came to attack. Yeah, they were just on me. There was nothing. It was just, they came from the road. I don't know if they jumped out of a car or what. I have no idea. A couple of the guys disappeared pretty quick. Two guys, and that woman kind of stayed a little longer than the others. But one of my signs disappeared. One was left on the sidewalk. My body cam disappeared. I tried to find it. I couldn't find it. And so, yeah, it's, I guess, the price you pay when you try to get the truth out about medical harm coming to thousands of children. Yeah,
well, it's insane. But the more I follow your train of thought, where the more people that hear about it, the more, the truth is so obvious. It's so clear. It's right there. This is not good, man. This is not good. And these people, they're ironically, they have a phobia of criticism. You know what I mean? Any criticism of their ideology is so terrifying that they will attack you in the street. Because they've got this whole thing going on that any criticism of it is like a criticism of friends that they have that are going through struggles or whatever. I don't even know what's going on with half these people, but the things you're bringing up are very real, man, very real. And if anybody wants to go get into like the nitty gritty of why Chris is out there, I highly recommend the interview. It's called I Heart J.K. Rowling. It's on my YouTube channel. It's also on every streaming platform of the Red Pill Rapper Show. But how do you plan to go forward from here, Chris? Because we're all holding our breath, hoping that this is gonna catapult you into, hopefully into Parliament or just somewhere that you can say these things to the right people.
I've got politicians reaching out to me today.
Really?
Yeah, I met some good guys, some good conservative politicians that are completely aware of what's going on. When I was in Ottawa the other day, and then they heard about the attack, so some of them emailed me. And what happened a couple of weeks ago is someone arranged, I know who arranged it, but I won't say, but someone arranged for, I don't know who went in, but somebody spoke to the entire Conservative caucus in Ottawa about gender ideology and all the crap going on and harm coming to kids and all that. So these Conservatives are cluing in. I don't know exactly what was said, but they were spoken to for quite a while. And I'm told that when Bill C-6 comes to its final vote, this bill that is going to ban conversion therapy of a child's gender identity, the mystical gender identity, I'm told that this time the vast majority of Conservatives are going to vote no. Not that it matters because the bill is going to pass, but another political guy also told me that the reason this bill hasn't come to its final vote right now is because Justin Trudeau wants to use it as a wedge issue in the next election.
Oh.
So he's stalling on it. He wants to bring it. This is what they're speculating, but it makes perfect sense that he wants to bring it to a final vote shortly before the election. So then he can say during the election, oh, look at these, terribly bigoted conservatives who are in favor of conversion therapy. And it's not conversion therapy, of course. The real conversion therapy is this gender ideology in the schools that is taking young kids that are going to grow up to be gay or lesbian and telling them that they're actually the other sex.
Yeah,
and that they should go on harmful experimental puberty blocking drugs and then the opposite sex hormones, which will result in their sterilization.
Well, when you told me about Lupron, something changed in my mind, like the severity of your cause. Finding out what Lupron is, and that they're giving that to children. That's next level, man. It's no more messing around. This is very serious. And I said this to you earlier today, but I should say it to the people because I'm curious. Because I don't speak for anyone, right? I'm not head of any group or anything like that. Corona, but me and a lot of my friends have become addicted to these sign waving parties where we go out, we yell at traffic, and you got bad man Redpill on the highway talking into the mic and all that stuff. It's so much fun. We've talked about, what are we going to do if they lift all these restrictions? What are we going to do if we do just go back to normal, or somewhat normal or whatever? And I myself, like, I can't give this up, man. There's too much work to do in this country. And I've sure got my eyes on your cause. And I wonder how many of my people are going to jump on board, man. I wonder, because it's very serious. And I remember watching this gender stuff slowly roll in during the early days of Jordan Peterson and these different things that were going on. And I thought it was way overblown. I thought it was just like the blue-haired feminists on Twitter that were freaking out and it was no big deal. And then you fast forward and here you are, man, telling me about this Bill C6 where isn't it true now that if this bill goes through that like a social worker can lose their job if they try to veer a child away from transitioning? Am I understanding that right?
Well, yeah, except I think probably virtually every social worker in the world would be veering kids towards this ideology.
Right.
But I'm talking about professional therapists, parents, anyone, religious leaders, anyone. If anyone is deemed, okay, let's break it down. Bill C6 will make it a criminal offense punishable by up to 5 years in prison if anyone is deemed to be trying to convert a child's gender identity, not from what they actually are, which is a boy or a girl, but if a girl thinks she's a boy and someone just wants to do, a professional therapist wants to do talk therapy or watchful waiting with these kids, or figure out what's going on, what are the underlying issues here. If a therapist has a practice treating these kids with gender dysphoria, it is simply a matter of time until an activist or some crazy parent comes along and says they're trying to convert their child's gender identity. Now, the really sneaky thing about this bill is that it only goes in one direction. If we are taught that we all have a gender identity, okay? So Mitch, what's your gender identity?
He, him, right? I'm a he,
okay,
him?
Yeah. Oh, so you think you're a man. Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So if I try to change your gender identity and brainwash you into thinking you're a woman, that's totally okay, according to this bill.
Okay, cool.
That's not conversion therapy. But if you think you're a woman and I realize that you're just mentally ill and I want to help you, come back to reality, well, that would be deemed to be conversion therapy. So what's going on in our schools is the real conversion therapy. We are brainwashing kids into believing that stereotypes determine their gender. We are telling girls who are tomboys that they're actual boys. And we're telling young, effeminate boys that they're girls. It is like a religion where there's a gendered soul or a boy brain or a girl brain. This is all just garbage. And so what is happening, and I know we've talked about this before, but almost all of these kids, at least 4 out of 5, if they're allowed to go through puberty, studies show this dysphoria will just go away. Puberty can suck, right? It can be a tough time for kids. And so why are we just telling them right away that they're going to feel better if they try to switch gender? Why are we telling them that they're going to feel better if we block puberty from happening and then give them the opposite sex's hormones? We're causing irreversible damage to them. We're sterilizing these kids. For these girls, after several years on testosterone, they often have to get their uterus removed. Oh. Boys' genitals are never going to grow. It's going to impact their sexual function forever. It's going to impact their future relationships, all this stuff. And it doesn't even make the gender dysphoria go away. The gender clinic's own studies show this. The Tavistock, which is the gender clinic in the UK, they sat on their study for 6 years. They didn't want to release it because it showed there was no psychological improvement in these children. So anyway, this bill is nuts, and it's going to pass. So what'll end up happening is, professional licensed counselors aren't even going to want to do this job with kids anymore. And these kids are just going to end up at the gender clinics, at these children's hospitals, where it's affirmation only. And so to put this in perspective for you, this is a true story that just happened 2 or 3 weeks ago. I met a woman in Ottawa, and the child went to the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario. CHEO, it is called. First appointment with the endocrinologist, and in 20 minutes, this girl had been prescribed puberty blockers.
20 minutes?
20 minutes, all done. Girl says she's a boy. What's the endocrinologist going to say? Nothing. He just goes, yeah, okay, you're a boy. That's your gender identity. And so the solution for this is automatically puberty blocking drugs. And it's never just these puberty blocking drugs. 98% of the time, from the clinic's own studies, these children go on to the next step, which is for girls, testosterone.
It's insane. Now, so would they have put this child on Lupron? Is that what you're saying? Yeah,
in North America, it's called Lupron. It has different names in other countries, but they'll do the exact same thing. The technical word for these drugs, they are gonadotropin hormone releasing agonists. And what they do is they stop the pituitary gland from releasing hormones, which then, subsequently trigger puberty to happen. So all the things that happen during puberty just won't happen, including your bones getting stronger. Your bones won't gain any density, which means we now have young adults almost 30 years old that are having early onset osteoporosis.
It's interesting because you talk to people about China and how in the past they've done forced sterilization, non-consensual sterilization to keep the population down, and people go, man, they're so bad over there. I can't believe those nasty authoritarians. But then here are these children, which we all agree, children can't consent to alcohol, they can't consent to war, they can't consent to sex, they can't just consent to anything. But tattoos. Here we are, right? Tattoos,
piercings,
of course. But here we are.
Piercings.
So we all agree it's not consensual, and we're sterilizing them. And we just people don't make that connection, and it's so sick, man, to rob a little girl of her ability to have a child later in life, and a little boy from the ability to be a father. It's so sickening, man. It's so sickening. I can't believe people, and they all in the name of fake virtue, so that Justin Trudeau can get some brownie points from these people that are just so indoctrinated. It's so sad, man. I can't believe people just fall for it.
I get messages every day now from parents. Every day. I got one when I was driving downtown today. I went downtown. I went to the Supreme Court because a man just today, I guess we're not supposed to say his name. He went to jail because he refuses to back down, and he's just trying to protect his little girl, his 14-year-old girl, who he objects to taking puberty blocking drugs and cross-sex hormones, and he refuses to call his girl his son. So the judge, I think, previously said this was tantamount to family violence. And so this man breached his conditions by, you know, referring to his daughter as his daughter, as she. And so now he'll have a trial in April, he told me, but he's in jail until then because he breached his conditions, and he'll be facing up to 5 years in prison.
So, sorry, you said that's in Indonesia? That's in Indonesia or Zimbabwe? Where was this, Chris?
I believe it's in Vancouver, British Columbia. Yeah.
Wow, man. Wow, we got to make some noise. It's so sad. It's so sad that you're not you're not allowed to believe in gender anymore. The fact that man is sitting in jail. Do you know anything about that guy? Is he a racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe, or what's his deal? Like, what's sounds reasonable
no, he's
to me.
No, I've seen him speak. He's reasonable.
Oh, it just breaks my heart to think of him rotting in jail. I wonder if they, you know.
Can you give me 1 second?
Yeah,
I just want to see if my car is getting broken into right now.
Yeah, no worries, Chris.
There's an alarm going off.
I wonder if they've got that guy in a cell right beside James Coates, man, the pastor in Alberta. It's so sick. You see story after story of these, you know, pedophiles that are let out after 4-year sentences. Like a guy who videotaped me and my friends in Summerland, Eddie Spaghetti. I think he did 5 years for taking videos throughout the pool and the change room, stuff like that. These people are like, they let these people out, and then they stick guys like James Coates, the pastor, and guys like we're not supposed to say his name. So anybody breaking in there? You got Antifa knocking at your door, Chris, or what?
No, just paranoid. There was an alarm going off, but it's my renter.
Okay.
So it's all good. Yeah.
I also wanted to ask you, because you had sent me to a link about a like an Antifa identifier guy. I don't even know what to call him. And he's connected some dots as far as the woman who attacked you. I hope that's how she identifies. I don't know if she's a Zer or what's going on, but is there any luck on figuring out who these you know,
I don't have any identities yet. I mean, that guy, I guess he went to some rally and he took some pictures of these Antifa people on February 7th. He had a picture of this woman. It sure looks like her. I think it has to be her. Her hair's a little longer now. Her roots kind of grew in a bit. It looks just like her. I can't say 100%, but it's got to be. And I haven't heard from the police. They were going to review more CCTV footage on Saturday, but I haven't heard anything. What day are we on now? Tuesday.
Yep.
Maybe I'll probably call them tomorrow and see what's going on.
Well, you're in a tough spot, man, because I mean, Antifa is essentially funded by the federal government through antihate.com, you know, and I don't know what else. That's all that I know of. I'm sure there's other stuff going on. Like, I don't have a lot of hope in the justice system helping you. I mean, what are they going to do? Lock these people up? We got pastors and protesters to lock up, man. And fathers who believe in gender. You know,
fathers who believe in biological sex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fathers who believe that girls are girls. Yeah. They go to jail.
It's insane, man. It's insane. Well, I think I was hoping we could keep this episode short, because I know that last one, we got all the knowledge that you know, in that last one, and I was hoping to make this one a little more palatable, just so people could get that breaking news story. And I'm so appreciative that you'd come on my show again, man, because I know you've been swamped. You're everywhere, man. You're Mr. Worldwide.
Thanks for having me, bud. I appreciate it. Oh, I'm coming to Kelowna.
You are.
I'm coming to Kelowna. I'm going to be there Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
So I need people to come out with me. I don't know if there's much of an Antifa contingent in Kelowna, but I'm leaving on Thursday. So I'm going to be staying up there Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and then I'm heading off to Alberta. So Friday, Saturday, I'm going to be out on the street. So if you know people, let's get them out, man.
Yeah, listen, Chris, I'll do everything I can, and I hope you join us for the mega rally on Saturday. And I
go where people are. You got it.
Love it. And listen, dude, Kelowna Antifa has figured out that if they come out, they got to deal with the Redpill rapper. They don't like to come around much anymore because they get roasted. They get roasted pretty bad. And me and my friends, we got the resistance is behind you. I'm behind you. You got nothing to worry about out here, man. You can walk around with those signs, free man. And you got our full support, brother.
Sounds good, dude. I'll see you then.
All right, Chris. Can't wait.
All right, take it easy.
Rises early in the morning, thinking that my girl's gonna walk up out of safe and kill somebody with somebody. Count the bodies to 18 at 2 9. Not like 1995, we had 1125. Not only cause they count the suicides now. Wanna see how they be fucking with your mind. I'm just looking at you like, please mind your motherfucking mind about your motherfucking business time. Maybe if you heard it in a rhyme, it might take in this time. Try to put these ideas all up in our minds, but these ideas are like this mind. And the light they will not shine. It's a planet that rights like every fucking time. In the morning. Hey!